Hi everyone, this is Miss Zahra and this is part 4 of our review, and this part will cover both lesson 1 and 2 from module 2, and it's covering energy from renewable and non-renewable resources. Okay, this video may be a little longer than the others because it's covering 2 lessons. Okay, so let's first look at what is a natural resource and how do we use it to make electricity. A natural resource is anything that we find in nature. In nature. Okay, that means Allah made it and we use it to do things. Our lesson focuses on what things we use from nature to make electricity. There are 2 groups that we have. We can have renewable resources. Renewable means we can replace it quickly. Renewable resources will come very fast back. So because of this reason, we can use it many times over and it will not finish very quickly. So there's a chance that the people who come after us can still use this. Here are the 5 main examples of renewable resources. When you learn these resources, you need to know what they are and where they come from. So their name and what gives the energy. So solar energy comes from the sun. And this solar panel will change it into electricity. Over here I have hydro. Hydro means water. There are many ways I can get energy from water. Most of them are from these dams. But I also have a type of hydro energy that uses waves, and that hydro energy is called tidal. It's also a hydro energy that uses waves. So the word hydro means water. Any energy from water is renewable because it will come back quickly. The next example is geothermal. Thermal I know means hot. And geo means the earth. So this energy comes from the hot earth. They use different pictures to show this. The main thing you'll need to look for is the hot earth. Earth that looks so hot that water is coming up out of it like a cloud. The next word is biomass. Bio comes from living things like plants and animals. So any living thing, bio means living thing, and mostly we use plants to make fuel from biomass. So any plant, any animals, their waste and wood that I can cut down, I can use this to turn it into biomass energy. The last energy is the easiest one to remember, wind energy. And this comes from moving air. Okay, so 2 of them come. Wind comes from moving air and hydro comes from moving water. Okay, so now let's look at resources that are not renewable. So we call them non-renewable. Non-renewable means they can not replace quickly. They will become finished. Okay, so these ones will finish. So here are examples of non-renewable energy. Oil, coal, natural gas, and nuclear. From these examples, you must learn that these 3, oil, which we use to make petrol, coal, which we use to make fires, for example, when you have a barbecue, and natural gas, which our mums use to make to cook food, and sometimes we use it in heaters. These 3 are fossil fuels. They came from the dead plant and animal. Okay, so please make sure you learn these 3 fossil fuels. Oil or petrol, we use it mainly to make fuel. Coal, we use it mainly to make electricity. Okay, so I'm going to write what we use them for. We make fuel, we make electricity, and natural gas, we use it to make a fire, to cook, and to heat our home. Okay, so those three fossil fuels, we use them for those different reasons, and they will become finished. When we use fossil fuels, they make a lot of pollution, which we will speak about in the next lesson. Okay, so over here, the last one, nuclear energy. Nuclear energy and geothermal. People mix them up a lot. So please look carefully at the picture. Nuclear energy, usually we will put this picture, okay? So that we don't confuse you, we don't usually use this picture of geothermal. You will just see something looking like a really hot, you will just see steam coming out from the ground, like how we get from a volcano, somewhere near a volcano. So the nuclear energy is non-renewable. That means we cannot replace it quickly because it comes from a metal called uranium. So this will become finished because metals are non-renewable. We find them in nature, but it takes too long for them to come back, so they will become finished. Let's look at some examples of how we can get these questions and how we can solve them. So this question says, which one is considered living natural resource? Anything living is something that it can make another one of itself, like a baby animal or a baby plant. So the only things you're going to think of that's living are plants, any kind of plant, any kind of tree, and any kind of animal. These are our living natural resources. So the only one in the picture is the animal. So I'm going to look for my answer. Be careful, you'll notice they are not in the same order. D is my animal. So here's an example of a writing type question from the mock exam that I've put in the review. And we need to sort our energy into renewable or non-renewable. So the first thing you should know is what each picture represents. So name each picture, okay? A, I know from my review that it's showing me this, which is for oil. So A is showing me a picture of me taking oil from the ground. I know oil is non-renewable, so I will put it over here. B is showing me a picture of the sun. The sun is solar. Solar is renewable. I can replace it quickly. Then I have C. Remember I told you, don't get confused. When we see this one, we are looking at nuclear. Nuclear energy is non-renewable. It comes from uranium. It will finish. The next picture is showing me some water. Water is hydro. Even if I don't know this word is actually tidal, but even if I don't know it, we can call it hydro. It's water, okay? And E, also hydro. Both of them, D and E, will replace. I cannot stop the waves from moving. I will not be able to stop this from moving either. Okay, F is showing me some plants that have been ground up, like when we make flour and grain. So these plants and pieces of wood that have been broken down, we're going to burn them and turn them into energy. And because it came from a plant, I'm going to call it bio, and it is renewable because I can plant trees again and again and again. Over here, I can see wind energy, so that's G. And the last one, here's the picture I was telling you about, the earth that is so hot that it's making the water go up. So the hot earth, geothermal. And this hot earth is renewable. Okay, so from the ones we studied, there are only 2 examples that have not been listed. There is no picture showing me coal, which is non-renewable, and there is no picture showing me natural gas, also non-renewable, right? I'm just going to put an N here so we know it's natural gas. So if you are given these two pictures, they will go here as well. Non-renewable. We cannot replace them quickly. Now let's use what we know and answer some true and false questions. Okay, so before you even read the rest of the sentence, when we read solar energy and I'm reading whether it's renewable or non-renewable, don't confuse yourself. List what they are. I know solar is renewable. I put it over here. So solar is renewable. Coal is non-renewable. It is a fossil fuel. Trees are bio. Bio is renewable. Now you read your sentence and you choose your answer. Solar energy is non-renewable? No, it's renewable. So this is false. Coal is non-renewable, and over here it says coal is renewable? No. So what I know and what they are saying does not match. Therefore, it is false. Trees are renewable because we can plant new trees. Yes, I know that. I wrote it down before, right? So make sure you understand and you list what you know before trying to solve the true and false question so that you don't get confused. Okay, let's try some fill in the blanks, choosing options and some more true and false. So bio, we said, came from the plant, right? Biomass energy comes from. Are plants living or non-living? They are living. People burn to make biomass. Well, they just told us the answer, right? So this one is plants. It's right over here. Biomass energy is because we can grow more plants. So it is renewable. Renewable because I can grow more plants. Now let's answer some true and false about biomass. Biomass comes from the sun. No, it's false. Okay, I know the energy did come from the sun to make the tree, but we are taking the energy from the tree that is already dead, right? So that energy is chemical, so we're not going to count the sun. Wood and food waste can be used to make the biomass. Yes. We just said it came from plants. So that is true. Okay, we're now going to look at how we can analyze a graph to answer questions. So this is a writing type question. You may be asked, what is the percentage of X in the image? There is something missing over here and you need to know what the number is. So in math, you've learned about fractions, and when we add all of this together, you are going to get a total of 100. So I know if I add all these numbers together, it will give me 100. So I start listing my numbers. I have 1, I have 1, I have 39, I have 27, I have X that I don't know what it is, right? I have 7, and I have another 7. Okay, so math is easier to complete if you list them one below the other to add them up. So I have 1, 1, 39, 27. I do not know what X is, but I do know that they need to give me 100, right? So X plus the total will give me 100. Okay, so these are the numbers I know. I will add my numbers together. 7, 7, 7 makes 21. 21 plus 2 is 23. And 23 plus 9, I'm going to get 32. Okay, so now that I have 32, I carried the 3 to the top, and I will add the 3, and the 2. And when I do that, I get 82. So 82 and x gives me 100. So what's my missing number? You can use subtraction, or you can use your reasoning to think what number plus 82 gives me 100. You will get the same answer. And my answer is 18. Okay, so therefore x is equals to 18%. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of space on the page, that's why I didn't put too many lines, but inshallah in the exam they will give you enough space to write your answer. The second question says, based on the pie chart, what is the total of non-renewable energy resources? So it is a bit of math here, but we need to know what is non-renewable to know what to add. So you need to know that you are adding your fossil fuels and nuclear, right? These are our non-renewable energies. So non-renewable is fossil fuels and nuclear energy. So I'm going to circle my fossil fuels and nuclear energy. I have my petrol, which is from oil. I have my coal. I have natural gas. And X is nuclear. So also I will count X. Hydro, renewable, other gas, I will not count. I don't know what they are. Okay? So we're going to add those numbers together. I have 1, 39, 27, and my answer for X, which I calculated to be 18. And when I add them together, I will put them on the side. So 1, 39, 27, and 18. Okay, I get a 10 over here, and then 7 and 8. I get 25 altogether, carry the 2, and when I add this up, I get 85. So my total is 85%. Okay, so that's my answer. So when we read graphs, the key to reading the graph is knowing what they are asking you. For example, if you are finding something that is unknown, we are going to add everything else up to give 100. So it will be 100 minus all those numbers, and we will find X. The other thing we need to know is if they ask me for what is the total of renewable, like non-renewable here, or renewable, they can ask you both. These are non-renewable. But what if they ask me for fossil fuels? So if they asked me, instead of saying non-renewable, if they said what is the total of fossil fuels, then I need to know that I'm only adding petrol, coal, and gas. So please pay attention to the question, identify what you need to add, and then add them together. If the question asks you for renewable, okay, so if it asks for renewable, you're going to add your renewable resources, like over here we have renewable and hydro. So 7 and 7. Okay, this one is also about graphs, but we did go over how to answer this in a previous question. Remember to read the question. Look at what they are asking you for. Are they asking you about light, or are they asking you about heat? You will look for the color that it represents and then the number that goes with it, right? So let's look at another example. Let's say you are given this graph. It looks the same as the one before, but your answer will be very different. So let's try it again. What is x? I told you that all of it must add up to 100. So if I take 100 and I start to subtract these numbers from 100, I will get x. So let's take x minus 7. 100 minus 7. I will get 93. I will take away another 7. 93 minus 7. This will become an 8. And I will get 13 minus 7, which is 6. Okay, then I take away the 1 from the petrol. I get 86 minus 1, 85, minus the coal. Okay, you borrow from over there, and we have 15 minus 9, which is 6. 7 take away 3, which is 4. And then take away natural gas, which is 27, right? So again, I borrow from there. This is 16 minus 7. I'm going to get a 9. And 3 minus 2 is 1. So we have 19. So why is this answer different from the previous one? Do you see that something is missing over here? Okay, you will see that I've eliminated this because in the book, our question, here's 19 over here as x, the value of x, and other gases are 1%. And other gases don't belong in either group. They don't belong to renewable or non-renewable because we don't really know where the other gas goes. So in the exam, when you get a question like this, please look carefully at what is given to you, okay? If that number is there, you will add it. You will count it in your calculation because it's there. And according to math laws, when we add all of our numbers together, the total should be 100. But if that number is not there, then you will calculate with what you are given. So either your answer, if it's this x, the green one, will be 18 or 19. But perhaps they may put x over here by the blue one or by the orange one. So you need to know how we find the answer and not just memorize the answer. Okay, so please give these digital activities a try and good luck.